Number one, the Shamar Joseph story. Now, some of you might know where I'm going with this, others might not know where I'm going with this. Shamar Joseph is a young cricketer from Guyana. He plays for the West Indies team. For those of my viewers who don't know about cricket, um, the entire Caribbean is represented on one team called the West Indies. And Shamar Joseph is one of the players on the team. But part of the reason that I am highlighting him is because he recently produced a record breaking performance. Against Australia, the West Indies had not won in Australia since 1997, and he produced a a match winning performance, taking 7 wickets for 68 runs, even while on an injury. Now, that feat alone is very impressive, but I want to dig into a little bit more about Shamar Joseph. So much so that I want to dig into his background and tell you who the man is so you can understand why this feat was so amazing. Let's dig into some of the background. So, like I said, Shamar Joseph is a young West Indian cricketer. He's 24 years old from Guyana. He grew up in a part of Guyana that is not very accessible. In fact, I am told that it takes a 2 hour boat ride from the nearest city to get to his village. And this village only got internet access in 2018. And that's crazy. I mean, the internet has been around for a pretty good while now, over 20 years at least. And it only got internet access for the first time in 2018. So he grew up in very humble beginnings. On top of that, his sporting background is very humble as well. We are told that Shamar Joseph was limited to only two games growing up: dominoes and cricket. And he didn't even have proper cricket equipment. He had to resort to what they called jungle cricket, which was making makeshift gear from maybe fruits or bats from something flat, some random thing that they found that was flat, and playing cricket with it. Now, that's not really strange. People who grew up in the Caribbean know that we Caribbean people do that all the time, you know? So that's not really strange, but it's still, not proper cricket equipment, right? So those were his beginnings. But he was really, really passionate about the sport, even though that's all he had to practice the sport, all he had to develop his skills. He was very, very passionate about the sport. But despite this passion, life did not veer Shamar Joseph into cricket right away. We are told that he was forced to become a security guard, I guess due to certain socio-economic challenges, having to provide for his family, having to come from a background that was definitely not rich and not well off. And it had to veer him into that position, that life as a security guard. However, there was still that burning desire inside of him to follow his passion, which was obviously sports and cricket. So he made a bold move. He decided to quit his career as a security guard and embark on a cricketing career instead. Now, this was a very bold move because he didn't have any financial support when he did that. Remember I told you a while ago, due to socio-economic reasons, he had to get into that career to begin with. And he found himself having to live off family assistance, and he really did not have, much to survive off other than that family assistance. But his passion and his drive for the game inspired him to go into that full time. Fast forwarding ahead, Shamar Joseph is now recognized as one of the budding global superstars in the sport. In fact, after his remarkable performance against Australia, we are hearing that he has the potential to sign various contracts for lucrative deals for Indian Premier League teams and other teams that would be willing to pay him exorbitant numbers of money for his skills and for his talent. I see a couple of chess moves that we can pull from this story. The first of which is the importance of betting on yourself. Oftentimes we have dreams and we do not go after them. We procrastinate, we do not go after what we really want to achieve. And we end up not accomplishing what we can achieve. But we see in the case of Shamar Joseph that he decided to embark on something that seemed far fetched. I mean, the circumstances that he grew up in, no money, no proper cricketing background, no significant guidance because he didn't have as much access to the city, which was 2 hours away. But he still had a burning desire, a burning passion for what he wanted to become. And I see that as very important. If you have a dream in your life that you want to shoot after, that you want to go after, chase after it. Find a way to chase after it. Because I think we do ourselves a disservice when we don't do that. We do ourselves a disservice when we decide to procrastinate and not shoot after what we want. We live less fulfilling lives when we don't go after our goals. So it's important to shoot after your goal and bet on yourself. The next chess move I derived from this is the importance of resilience. As I mentioned earlier, Shamar Joseph's performance came off the back of an injury. Now in cricket there are multiple innings. There's a first innings and a second innings. While Shamar Joseph was batting, he got a nasty blow on his foot. And in spite of that nasty blow on his foot, he gave that remarkable performance that I referenced a bit earlier. It's important to push through difficult situations. I guess because Shamar Joseph was so used to pushing through difficult situations early in his life, he was willing and able to push through this difficult situation, this pain on his foot, because he was so used to it. But I think it's important that we also take that resilient mindset. Things in life will not always go our way. And, sometimes in our lives, we might get setbacks in different types of ways. It might not be a blow on the foot like Shamar Joseph had, but it might be a different type of setback. When we have these issues, when we encounter these challenges, I want us to remember Shamar Joseph and remember that he fought through the pain, he fought through that issue and was able to overcome it and be successful. Success does not always look pretty. It's important to persevere. It's important to be resilient.